and also stream into one of the other member groups. Right. So we are live, we are live, we are live. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Let me just start to share the screen. And let's have a look at what we're going to do on the Harmonic Scanner. So first of all, let me come out of that so I can show you where to find the Harmonic Scanner. So as a member of IM, you will have the ability to go to im.center, which is where you will find all your strategies and other information, Pip Talk, and the Go Live TV with the top educators. So log in to the Harmonic Scanner and then see your menu on the left, come down to strategies and scroll down, and you will see here all the products that you can get. And this is the one we're looking for, called Harmonics. Now the Harmonic Scanner spits out an average of 200 trades per week, and you can see all the educators listed. I use a strategy by Chance and Samantha on channel 20 for the Harmonic Scanner with pitchforks, and it's up to 19 hours a week from these educators, and I attend 9 hours a week with Chance and Samantha, including London Live on trading on a Tuesday and Wednesday. Then he does extra short ones now just for London, Monday, Thursday and Friday. And that's always at 8 AM UK time. This is the flagship strategy created by the founder of IM, Christopher Terry, $200 million trader, and it charts reversals in the market. So it's got 5 Fibonacci reversal points. Fibonacci is a mathematical algorithm, very powerful, and you know, it's the most fantastic item. It's 89% accurate. So we click on that to take us to the scanner, and then on the right hand side you will see various pairs come up across different time frames: 15-minute time frame, 1 hour, 4 hour and daily. I tend to take the scans off the hourly because I'm looking for a minimum of 80 pips on that C to D leg, and the bigger the scan, the more powerful it is. Now it doesn't matter who your broker is. You can use scans off any of these brokers, and the one that I'm going to look at, I couldn't find a new one over 80 pips, so I went to the 4 hourly, and I found, remember where I found it now, EURGBP Crab on the 4 hourly. Here it is, and there are 2 things I look for: C to D leg, measure that, take your measuring tool from the left, that's 200 pips, that's well over the 80, so that's good, I can draw that. And then I want to see from the top of the D point, it's gone 20 pips, so that's solidified the scan. It's an 89% success rate, independently tested over 100,000 scans. So what we're going to do is take your pen, write it down. You know, you've got to have, by the way, the clock on your time zone that you live in. I'm in Paris, it comes up as UTC +2. I want to click on UTC +1. If you're in the UK, it'll just be UTC, and that must tally with the time zone that you're going to have on your trading view for it to be accurate. So take your cursor, you'll find that you know, you can just scroll along, and there are two ways you can draw a scan. You can use the brush, or you can mark the high. A scan will always be high to low to high to low to high, or vice versa. This is a selling scan, or vice versa if it's a buy scan. So we go to the X point there, and we can see that says 23rd of the 1st at 11. So we write that down. Move along to the A point, 24th of the 1st at 11. Move that along. The B point, 27th of the 1st at 15. The C point, 29th of the 1st at 7. And the D point, look down at the bottom, you'll see 31st of the 1st at 1900. So once you've written that down, come over to your trading view, pull up your EURGBP, check that the timestamp is the same as your local time zone down here on the right, put it on the 4 hourly because this is a 4 hourly scan, and then we'll just move across here. Now, as you can see, I've already got this drawn on, but for the purposes of this training, I'll take it off and show you how to do it. I'll put it on again. Just bear with me. Sorry about the dog. I'll try and ignore him. So you come down to this little object there, and what we're going to do, I lock them on when I've finished. I'm just going to take them off so I can draw them again for you. So I'll take that off. On a minute. So to taken off the just use your back arrow if you find you've taken off something you shouldn't have taken off. So let me see which one that is then. Right, okay, so I'll get rid of that one and get rid of that one. That's left me with that old one, which I'll keep on. So I'll just let me just fade that out so that's not interfering there. Okay, so we're looking for the let me fade that out as well. And that one. Okay, so we're looking for the high and the low from the 23rd of January. You can see quite obviously there's a high there to the low to which high is that going to be on the B? 27th at 1500. That's that one, to the low to the high, and that's what we're going to do. So there are two ways you can do it. You can just take what you think is the high and the low. You go to the left-hand menu. You're looking for, click on the scan shape. You're looking for XABCD, the top one. You can take that and just pop it on the highs and lows, go back and check it's the same. Or you can, it depends visually how you like to do it. Or you can go to the brush, click on the brush, and then go 23rd of the 1st at 11 on the 4 hourly is there. The A point, 24th of the 1st at 11. Look at the bottom and you'll see it's that one. The B point, 27th of the 1st at 15. That's there. The C point, 29th of the 1st at 7. That's there. and the D point lastly, 31st of the 1st at 1900. So once you've got those on, go back to your left-hand menu, click on your A, B, C, D, go back to your brush point, and it must be accurately on the end of the wick. So put your magnet on. You can see there, that's off. That will tell you it's come on. Magnet mode is on. Have your magnet mode on. Put that there. A, what you do is put your mouse over it and click just once. Then the A point, 24th at 11. Then the B point, 27th at 15. The C point, 29th at 7. And the D point up there. And I'll just highlight those. There. Sorry about the dog. And then on the brush mark, stop it. He's had his dinner. Take the brush marks off, just tidy up the chart. Then go up here to this pitchfork. Click on the one at the top, pitchfork. Click on X. You want it again accurately at the end of the wick. It's more important to have the pitchfork accurately on than the pink scan is just showing you the shape really. Onto the C, always C to D, and then onto the end of the D. Now I like to have mine all in the same color, and for my latest scans, I like to do them in white, but you can choose any color you want. And then I just bring it up to the full view. Now, once you've done this, this is the only fiddly part. You can drop down to the 1 minute, and TradingView will only go back 14 days. So if you're trying to correct an old scan or find an old scan and put it on, you won't be able, you have to get a screen grab off me or something if you want an old scan, because it won't let you go back and find the price, the time past 14 days. But once you've drawn scans on accurately, they are valid forever, but they must be accurate. And the reason for this is if you're out by a few pips and it's not sucked onto the wick accurately, what can be out 1 or 2 pips here that doesn't seem important can actually go over a period of months, go out to 50 or 60 pips out, and then of course it'd be totally untradeable, and you'll just end up not being happy with your trade results at all, because you'll be using inaccurate trend lines. Pitchfork is a trend line with Fibonacci built in. So you've got Fibonacci in the scan, and you've got Fibonacci in the pitchfork, which is why I like to use pitchforks for my trend lines. And as I say, make sure you've got the magnet on so that you're not moving any lines that you've drawn. I've locked it on because I do check old scans to make sure the pitchfork is still valid. It's still going through various, if it's still valid, you can see that things, the price will have touched to the pip, and also that I haven't accidentally nudged the pitchfork off. You know, so that's very important. That happens to be bang on the C, so that's good. And once you've done a few of these, you know, you will, you know, it only takes, you know, it's not very long to do it, a couple of matter of minutes. And this is quite a big scan. There's the B point there. It can seem a bit confusing at first, so just find which one suits you best visually, whether you're just looking for highs and lows, or whether you prefer to, I do always write it down and double check. Sometimes I write the date down wrong because they're using American format. So down here, you can see how far out that is there. That should be on, and it's always on the lowest. And if you're in doubt which is the lowest, then if you've got 2 lines together, then come up here and just draw a horizontal line across, and that will show you accurately which has the lowest point if you've got 2 lines together and are not sure which is the nearest one on the minute chart. So you want to be doing this on the minute chart. If your scan is so big it's gone back more than 2 weeks, then do it on the 5 minutes, but try and get the lowest time frame absolutely possible. Do half of it on the 1 minute, and then the last bit, the X point, perhaps on the 5 minutes if you can't get the times and dates to come up down there because it's gone back in time too much. So there's your X point on. Once that's on, lock it in. Those should all be locked on. Okay, then go back. We'll go back to the 4 hourly, and what we want to do is see that it looks the same as how it appears on the scanner. Let's just get rid of, oh, sorry, don't need that. Where are we? There we are. So here's our scan. Does that look like, does it look like, yep, that looks pretty good. So back to EURGBP, we've got it locked on. So now what you're looking for, I look for my trade setups on the 15 minutes. That's how to draw a scan. And what you're looking for to trade this, very simply, you can just go to the Harmonic Scanner. You can look at the entry point. You can take the stop loss here, take the figures given to you, entry point, take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, and you're good to go. And then it's down to you what time frame, what other confirmations you use to decide you're going to take your trade. So we'll just come back here and I'll just talk you through how I do it. So I come to the thing about using the pitchforks, I use a minimum, scans of a minimum of 80. That gives me a 20 pip range between each leg, which doesn't give me a lot of cushion for things going wrong. That's why I don't like to go to smaller scans. And it means that over a period of months and years, I can trade a scan up and down the levels because they're valid forever. Just minimize the TV in case the dog sees something. So on the 15 minute, I can see it's a downward scan. What I'm looking for is a break and retest off the, turn the TV off might help. I'll have to do this video again. A break and drop my controller now, a break and a retest off the D point. That looks good. And I come down to see what's happening on the minute chart. Now this is EURGBP, and the markets are closed at the moment, so obviously you wouldn't be taking any trade at all. This is Friday night where I am. And this is, so you wouldn't want to be looking at this until open of markets on Sunday, but then you'll go into Asian session. I need to reset the bar up here. They've defaulted to something different because these are my session timers that show me opening and closing of different sessions, Asian, Tokyo and London. So you'd want to be trading EURGBP either in the London session, preferably, or in the New York session. Now this is a $6.6 trillion market a day. So if it misses a break and a retest by a pip or two, I don't mind that. I consider that a retest. So off the D point, this is very powerful indication for a sell. It said I want to sell once, so it's a break and a retest, twice, 3, and there it is on 4 to the pip that it said, you know, I want to sell. So what I'm looking for is for it to do this when markets open here. So it'll either do another break and a retest, or it'll just decide now that it's doing that because it's done all its break and retests, but it didn't go further than that. Done a break and retest but didn't drop, done another break and retest but didn't drop, and now it's done a retest and you know, it should be dropping. One of my confirmations is that the orange rolling line of support and resistance, the 62, is below the 15-minute moving average. This is moving average of price, but at the moment you can still see it's above. I'll be expecting that to work its way down, and then I'll be looking for a short position. So I put that on there and see if I've got, I haven't got quarter theory coming up. I would like to see normally where quarter theory is. So anyway, I'll do the short position first. So I put that on. You need to work out your own ratios. So I usually work to 10 pips. And then down to 20. Now you're saying, Sarah, why don't you take it right down to the pitchfork? Well, I might, but that's my ratio I like to work towards. And then I can set alerts and see what I think is happening to it, particularly as it reaches about the 10 pip range. It's crossing an old pitchfork, so I might get a bit of a rejection or a retrace there. I might get a retrace back up to the 62 or onto quarter theory, but I can't see where quarter theory is. If I put it on 5 minutes, it might come up, because that's another strong line of support and resistance. Still not coming up. Just try the 15-minute. I don't know why it's not coming up. See if it'll reload. Can't see that coming up, and I don't quite know why. It should do, but it's saying not applicable at the moment. But that gives me, it gives me another another confirmation of where price might struggle before it moves down again. Now, the time frame I work on when I'm looking at taking trades down these levels and up these levels is, you know, I'm only using the 1 minute for my entry, so I get a precise entry, and that's how I can use the small stop loss. I'm not using it to determine the pip range. I can stack in on these, or I can stretch the trade out. But that gives you the basis for Harmonic Scanner. Go there, go to your traders, any of them will do. Look at your time frames, 15-minute H1 or H4. I don't trade off the daily. Shark is one that you've got to beware of. You know, you've got to wait for that D point to reach the, in fact, that looks like it is going to move, because it's got some way to go, I think. But you need it to be at the second entry point or take profit at one, because Sharks, the D point can continue to move for a while. So go there, find your scan, make sure your date stamp is your time zone that you are living in. Go over to your trading view, check your date stamp is the same as the time zone that you're living in. Put it on the same time frame that you've taken your scan from. Get your pad and pen. Go to your XABCD scan icon on the left-hand menu. Click on that, grab that, and then it's when you put it on, it's one click, because you've got 5 clicks that will go on. So what you're going to do is click your mouse once and let go to get the X. Bring it down to where you've marked the next one. Click twice. Click 3, click 4, click 5, and that will put it on. Or you can draw it from looking at for the highs and the lows, or you can draw it by, as we did, get the brush mark and just make a little brush mark. Check your time according to the list you've written, and that will put it on. Then go down to the 1 minute, put your pitchfork on here, make sure the magnet is on. Go down to the 1 minute to check that they are on the nearest highest point, and then lock on with the magnet using your objects box so that it doesn't slip. Once it's on accurately, you don't need to worry about it again. That's the only fiddly bit, putting it on. So I hope that helps. I'm going to stop share, and if you need any help, please let me know. And thank you very much for joining.